Lena stood outside her grandfather's old house as morning light touched the roof. The place looked quiet and unchanged since her childhood days. Tall trees leaned close and blocked most sounds from the road. She carried boxes and memories that felt heavier than they looked. Since his passing, the house had been waiting only for her. Each step toward the door made her chest feel tight. She reminded herself this was only cleaning and sorting. Yet something unseen seemed to watch from inside. The air inside smelled of wood dust and time. Sunlight moved slowly through thin curtains. Every room felt frozen like it was holding a breath. Her grandfather had lived simply and kindly. He fixed broken fences and fed birds each morning. Lena trusted him more than anyone in her life. That trust made the strange feeling harder to explain. She pushed the thought away and kept moving forward. She reached the small study at the back of the house. Books filled shelves from floor to ceiling. A tall cabinet stood against the far wall. It was dark, heavy, and scratched from years of use. Lena tried to pull it away to clean behind it. The cabinet resisted and barely moved. Her shoes slid on the wooden floor. Something solid blocked it from behind. Curiosity stirred inside her stronger than fear. She pushed again using both hands. The cabinet shifted just enough to reveal a narrow shape. A straight, clean outline appeared on the wall. It did not look like a crack or damage. Her heart beat faster as she traced the edge. The surface felt cold and smooth. This was no ordinary wall. She searched along the edge with careful fingers. A small metal latch rested near her waist. It was hidden and worn like it had been used often. Lena paused and listened to the quiet house. Memories of her grandfather filled her mind. He never spoke of hidden rooms or secrets. Her hand shook as she pulled the latch. The wall moved inward without a sound. Cold air flowed out and brushed her face. A sharp, damp smell filled her nose. Stone steps led down into darkness. This space did not belong to the house she knew. She turned on her phone light with trembling hands. The beam revealed rough concrete walls. Her heartbeat echoed with each step. She descended slowly into the hidden space. At the bottom, a chamber opened wide. Shelves lined the walls from corner to corner. A metal table stood at the center. Dust covered everything like a silent blanket. Objects rested neatly, as if waiting for someone. Heavy gloves, old tools, and folded cloth lay there. The room felt planned and careful. Nothing about it felt forgotten. Her light moved toward the far wall. Photographs were pinned in uneven rows. They showed streets, houses, and empty places. Names and dates were written beneath them. Some looked old and faded with time. One looked new and clear. The date was from recent days. Lena's breath grew shallow with fear. Her grandfather's gentle face filled her thoughts. The man who laughed softly could not be tied to this. Yet the room stood as proof of hidden truths. Fear rushed through her body like cold water. She stepped back toward the stairs slowly. Her hands shook as she sealed the hidden door. The cabinet slid back into its place. She raised her phone and called 911. The call ended and silence filled the house again. Lena stood still, holding her phone close. Her hands felt weak and cold. She listened for any sound around her. The walls felt closer than before. Her heart beat fast and uneven. She waited for something to happen. Minutes felt long and heavy. She moved to the front room slowly. Every shadow seemed darker than before. Her eyes kept returning to the study door. She wondered if she had imagined the chamber. But the smell of cold stone still clung to her clothes. Fear stayed with her like a weight. A distant sound broke the silence. Sirens grew louder from far away. Relief mixed with worry inside her chest. She unlocked the door and stepped outside. The morning air felt brighter and sharper. She watched the road with restless eyes. Her thoughts raced without rest. 2 police cars stopped near the house. Officers stepped out calm and alert. They listened closely as Lena spoke. Her voice shook but her words were clear. She told them about the hidden wall. She described the chamber and the photos. They exchanged quiet, serious looks. The officers entered the house together. Their steps were firm and careful. They asked Lena to stay behind. She stood near the doorway watching. The study door opened slowly. The cabinet was pulled aside again. The hidden opening stood revealed. Lights filled the stairway below. The officers moved down step by step. Their voices echoed softly from the chamber. Lena waited with tight hands. Time moved slowly once more. Her mind filled with questions. None had easy answers. One officer returned and nodded to the other. They spoke in low voices near the door. Lena was asked to sit down. She followed without resistance. Their faces were serious but calm. They told her the room was real, and it needed careful attention. More vehicles arrived outside the house. People moved with quiet purpose. The house no longer felt like her own. Strangers filled rooms with soft voices. Boxes and tools were carried inside. The hidden chamber became the focus. Lena watched feeling small and unsure. An officer sat across from her. He asked gentle, clear questions. She answered each one honestly. Her trust in her grandfather wavered. Memories now felt uncertain. She struggled to connect the man she knew with the secret room below. As night approached, the house grew quiet again. The officers prepared to leave. They told Lena this was only the beginning. More answers would come with time. She stood alone once more in the doorway. The house felt different than before. Its silence now felt heavy and watchful. Morning light returned to the house but brought no comfort. Lena woke on the couch with stiff muscles. Sleep had come in broken pieces. The quiet felt louder than the night before. Every sound from outside made her tense. She sat up slowly and listened. Nothing moved, yet the house felt awake. She walked through the rooms again. Officers had left marks of their visit. Furniture stood slightly out of place. The cabinet in the study stayed where it was. She avoided looking at it for long. Her mind replayed the chamber again and again. Questions circled without rest. Later that day the officers returned. They came with new faces and calm voices. They asked Lena to sit with them. They spoke about the photos and the objects. They said the chamber was very old, but some items were recent. That detail made her stomach tighten. They asked about her grandfather again, about his habits and routines. Lena spoke of kindness and quiet days, of morning walks and evening books. Nothing ever seemed strange to her. The officers listened without judgment. Their faces showed careful thought. One officer explained they found records. Old notes hidden in the metal box. They were written in careful handwriting. They spoke of watching places and protecting things. No harm was described in the pages. Only warnings and reminders. The meaning remained unclear. Lena felt torn between relief and fear. The notes did not sound cruel. Yet secrecy itself felt heavy. Why hide such things behind walls? Why leave photos of streets and houses? Her trust felt stretched thin. She struggled to breathe calmly. As hours passed, more details emerged. The photos matched places from long ago. Some linked to missing records. Others to forgotten events. Her grandfather's name appeared nowhere. Yet the room was undeniably his. This deepened the mystery. That evening Lena sat alone again. The officers promised updates soon. She walked into the study quietly. The cabinet looked harmless once more. She placed her hand on the wood. Memories of childhood laughter returned. Tears filled her eyes silently. She realized the house held two truths: the man she loved and the secrets he kept. Both existed side by side. Neither could erase the other. Lena knew answers would not come quickly. But she felt stronger than before, ready to face whatever came next. Days passed slowly as the house remained under watch. Lena stayed nearby but never fully rested. Each morning brought new sounds and quiet movement. People came and went with careful steps. The study became a place of whispers. She watched from a distance, feeling unsure. Her life felt paused between questions. One afternoon an officer returned alone. He carried a small folder in his hands. He asked Lena to sit with him calmly. His voice stayed steady and respectful. He spoke of old records and hidden work, of people who chose silence to protect others. Lena listened with wide eyes. The officer explained the chamber was not meant for harm. It was built during troubled years long ago. Some people watched places to keep others safe. The photos were part of that duty. Names were coded and dates carefully marked. The work stayed hidden to avoid panic. Lena felt her chest loosen slightly. She thought of her grandfather again, of his quiet walks and gentle ways. The idea slowly made sense. A man who helped without being seen. A man who carried burdens alone. Her fear softened into sadness. Tears came but she did not hide them. Later that day Lena walked through the house. She touched walls and door frames softly. Every space held memories now reshaped. The cabinet no longer felt threatening. It felt like a door to understanding. She realized secrets are not always dark. Some are heavy acts of care. That evening she sat near the window. The sky glowed orange and calm. She thought about trust and time. How people are made of many layers. Some are shown and some are hidden. Her heart felt tired but clearer. She no longer felt alone. Another visit came the next morning. More answers but not all of them. The officers spoke of closing the chamber, of sealing it properly and safely. Lena agreed without hesitation. She did not want to erase it, only to let it rest. As work began she stayed nearby, watching the final steps quietly. The chamber was documented and closed. The cabinet returned to its place. The wall stood smooth once again. The house breathed easier somehow. Lena felt that change deeply. That night she slept without fear. Dreams came softly instead of sharply. Her grandfather appeared smiling gently. No words were spoken between them. Only a shared sense of peace. She woke with calm in her chest, ready for what remained ahead. The house felt different after the chamber was closed. Lena noticed it the moment she stepped inside. The air felt lighter and less tense. Sunlight seemed to reach deeper into the rooms. The silence no longer pressed against her. Instead it felt calm and gentle, like the house had finally rested. She began cleaning again with steady hands. Each task felt easier than before. Old books were sorted and shelves wiped. Dust no longer felt heavy or sad. Memories surfaced but they did not hurt. They felt warm and familiar. Her grandfather's presence felt kind once more. Neighbors stopped by during the week. They brought food and quiet support. Some shared stories about her grandfather. They spoke of help given without credit, of late nights fixing things in secret. Lena listened with growing understanding. The pieces slowly fit together. She learned her grandfather helped quietly, not for praise or reward. He believed some work should stay unseen. That belief shaped his whole life. The chamber was part of that choice. Not a place of fear but of duty. Lena felt proud through her tears. One afternoon she sat in the study alone. The cabinet stood still and ordinary. She placed a small photo on top. It showed her and her grandfather smiling. She whispered a soft thank you. Not for answers but for love. The room felt peaceful in response. Days turned into weeks without trouble. Life slowly returned to normal rhythm. Lena decided to keep the house. Not as a burden but as a gift. She opened windows and let fresh air in. Birdsong filled the quiet mornings. The house felt alive again. She made changes but kept its heart. Walls stayed the same and memories remained. She painted rooms and fixed small cracks. Every improvement felt like healing. She felt closer to her grandfather now, closer than she had in years. Understanding bridged the silence. One evening she stood outside at sunset. The sky glowed soft and wide. She felt a calm strength inside her. Secrets no longer frightened her. They had shaped her courage instead. She smiled at the quiet house, ready to move forward. Lena locked the door gently that night. Not out of fear but care. The house was no longer hiding anything. It stood honest and strong. Just like the man who lived there. Lena walked away with steady steps, carrying peace into her future.